Sergeant Andrew Scott and the top-secret Spaceship. TR-3B, behind the scenes of the Showdown in Israel. The TR-3B is described not just as an aircraft, but as a masterpiece of aerospace engineering. Equipped with an anti-gravity propulsion system that allows it to perform maneuvers with unmatched agility, the TR-3B can reach supersonic speeds without producing its characteristic shock waves. Its structure is made of advanced composite materials that absorb radar radiation, giving it an almost invisible profile. The cockpit is a high-tech command center with artificial intelligence-based control systems that assist the pilot in making quick and accurate decisions. Its weapon system includes non-lethal and precision technologies designed to minimize collateral damage. Geopolitical context and role in conflict. TR-3B in the conflict zone between Israel and Hamas is presented as a delicate strategic game. The ship is deployed at a time of rising tension, with the aim of balancing forces and providing an unmatched surveillance and intervention capability. Its primary mission is to obtain vital intelligence to prevent escalation of violence and to execute precision strikes, if necessary, to destabilize enemy operations without endangering civilian lives. This strategic role adds a new dimension to the conflict, representing a show of force and advanced technology. Strategic and technological implications. The use of the TR-3B brings a new level of complexity to the theater of war. Its presence in the airspace alters power dynamics, forcing adversaries to rethink their conventional strategies. TR-3B becomes a key player in the geopolitical chess game, changing the rules of engagement and demonstrating the power of advanced technology in modern warfare. Its effectiveness in reconnaissance and rapid intervention missions makes the TR-3B a crucial element in efforts to maintain peace and stability in the region. Chapter 1: Dawn of Destiny. In the control room, the atmosphere is charged with tension and anticipation. Andrew, a dedicated and methodical soldier, receives an unexpected call that changes the course of his life. He is given the mission to pilot the TR-3B, a revolutionary aircraft, in the conflict between Israel and Hamas. This news surprises him and fills him with a mixture of emotions: honor, anxiety, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. Preparing for the mission, after the call, Andrew retreats to focus on the details of the mission. He spends hours studying TR-3B specifications, flight strategies, and military intelligence about the conflict zone. Every detail is crucial, and Andrew takes the task with the utmost seriousness, aware of the extraordinary stakes of his mission. Relationship with Dan, friend and colleague. Andrew is not alone on this journey. He finds support in his colleague and trusted friend, Dan. Dan is presented as a contrast to Andrew, more emotional and impulsive, but equally dedicated to the mission. Their conversations highlight the dynamics of their relationship, with Dan encouraging Andrew and reminding him of the importance of his role in this conflict. Confronting personal emotions. Before launching the mission, Andrew faces his own fears and doubts. He reflects on the mission's impact on his personal life and the possible consequences of his actions. These moments of introspection are profound and provide a complex picture of his character. Night before launch. The night before the mission is launched is one of reflection and final preparation. Andrew spends his time revisiting flight plans and combat strategies, but also thinking about the family and friends he leaves behind. This moment provides an emotional and human image of a soldier before entering the unknown. The decisive moment. Surrounded by the noise of ground crews and the light of the sun beginning to rise, he takes determined steps towards the aircraft. It is a powerful moment of transition, symbolizing the beginning of a new phase in Andrew's life and the conflict he is about to embark on. Chapter 2: Dance of the Unknown. Andrew Scott begins his mission under the cover of night, piloting the TR-3B through hostile airspace. The atmosphere is intense and tense, with the dark sky serving as a vast and dangerous playground. Focused and methodical, Andrew adjusts the aircraft's sophisticated controls, aware of the immense responsibility on his shoulders. The TR-3B's anti-gravity propulsion system allows it to execute maneuvers with unmatched agility, turning every action into a precise and calculated dance through airspace. As he progresses, Andrew faces technical challenges requiring quick adjustments and split-second decisions. He remains calm, but his vigilance is put to the test when the TR-3B's advanced sensors detect the presence of enemy drones. These drones pose an unexpected threat, but Andrew quickly adapts, entering a tactical game of cat and mouse. Every maneuver he executes is a mixture of courage and calculation, aimed at avoiding detection and neutralizing any potential threats. As he navigates this aerial maze, Andrew confronts his own thoughts and doubts. He reflects on the meaning of his mission and the impact it has on the ongoing conflict. These moments of introspection are suddenly interrupted by the appearance of a new challenge. A group of enemy fighter jets are closing in, forcing Andrew to make even faster decisions and use all his skills and TR-3B technology to remain unseen and in safety. Andrew manages to escape unnoticed, but with a growing sense that every action he takes has significant repercussions. As he moves into the next phase of his mission, he is more determined than ever to fulfill his role, aware of the complexity and danger of dancing in the unknown he finds himself in. Chapter 3: Heaven's Hell. As the night deepens, Andrew Scott, piloting the TR-3B, engages in an intense dogfight, with the action unfolding at dizzying heights. The sky turns into an aerospace theater of operations, where every maneuver counts in the battle for supremacy. Initial encounter. The fight begins when Andrew detects a group of enemy fighter jets that appear to be looking for him. The TR-3B, with its advanced technology, has an initial advantage. It is almost invisible to enemy radar. Andrew uses this ability to sneak closer, but knows that a direct confrontation is inevitable. Aerial duel. The first firefight is lightning fast. Andrew relies on the TR-3B's agility and speed to avoid projectile volleys. He engages in a series of aerial duels with opponents, where every move is a combination of art and science. The sound of engines mingles with the sound of gunfire, creating a deafening tumult. Challenge of an experienced pilot. The situation escalates when Andrew faces an experienced enemy pilot. This opponent, with a modern and well-armed fighter jet, seems to anticipate Andrew's moves, forcing him to use all of his piloting skills and knowledge. In a display of bravery and tactics, the two drivers execute complex maneuvers, testing the limits of their cars and themselves as drivers. Test of the limits. As the fight continues, Andrew finds himself pushed to the limit. The physical and mental strain is immense, and every decision can mean the difference between life and death. The TR-3B is pushed to the limit of its capabilities, with its advanced systems handling extreme operational stress. The decisive moment. At the climax of the showdown, Andrew and his opponent engage in a final duel. Andrew, using TR-3B's superior abilities, manages to position himself at a favorable angle and launches a precise attack. In a moment of suspense, the enemy plane is hit, but Andrew chooses not to use lethal weapons, but non-lethal systems to neutralize the plane without destroying it. Confrontation end. After the decisive moment, Andrew quickly retreats from the conflict zone. Heart pounding and breathing heavy, he faces the reality of what just happened. Although he managed to survive and complete his mission, the emotional impact is profound. As TR-3B pulls away from the combat zone, Andrew reflects on the near-death experience he just had and the moral cost of war. Chapter 4: Eclipse of the Hero. TR-3B damage. The TR-3B, while technologically advanced, is not immune to damage. During an unexpected encounter with a new wave of enemy aircraft, the TR-3B is hit. Critical systems begin to fail and Andrew struggles to maintain control of the aircraft. Screens fill with warnings and the sound of alarms adds an almost unbearable layer of tension. The fight for survival. With TR-3B badly damaged and losing altitude, Andrew is forced to make quick decisions to avoid total disaster. Despite the extreme stress and possible collapse, he remains focused, using all his experience and knowledge to save the day. Maneuver the aircraft through barrages of projectiles and explosions, looking for a safe place to land. Internal confrontation. As he struggles with the damaged aircraft, Andrew also faces his own fears and doubts. He begins to question the meaning of the mission and its impact on the war. In these moments of crisis, he reflects on the responsibility he bears and the consequences of his actions. Risky maneuver. With few options left, Andrew decides to execute an extremely risky maneuver. Using the last resources of the TR-3B, he directs his aircraft to a strategic area, managing to neutralize a primary enemy threat. This action, while heroic, comes at an enormous personal cost. Personal losses, maneuver succeeds, but damage to TR-3B is now critical. Andrew struggles to maintain consciousness as he attempts to land the aircraft. In the final moments of this desperate effort, he is consumed by thoughts of family, friends, and the sacrifices made in the name of duty. Emergency landing and aftermath. In the end, Andrew manages to land the aircraft, but not without suffering serious injuries. As rescue teams rush to pull him from the smoking wreckage, he is overwhelmed by a sense of loss and guilt. His wounds are not only physical but also emotional. Chapter 5: The Unseen Wounds. Coming back to reality, Andrew Scott trying to adjust to life after the conflict, away from the noise and tension of battle. Physically, he is on the road to recovery, but the emotional and psychological wounds run much deeper. He feels isolated in his own world, where the memories of the fight constantly haunt him. Struggling with trauma, Andrew experiences PTSD symptoms, nightmares, flashbacks, and an overwhelming anxiety that disrupts his daily life. These symptoms cause him to withdraw from family and friends, creating a wall between himself and the outside world. Andrew struggles with guilt, wondering if his actions during the war were justified. Anonymity as a shield. Even though he is considered a hero by his peers and the public, Andrew chooses to remain anonymous. He refuses to reveal his identity or heroic deeds, feeling that it might bring more attention to himself, something he does not want. Anonymity becomes a shield that protects him from the outside world and his own feelings of inadequacy. Confronting moral dilemmas. As he struggles with his inner demons, Andrew also faces the moral dilemmas of war. Questions of justice, ethics, and the consequences of his actions on the battlefield occupy his thoughts. He wonders if violence can ever be justified and if there is any way to reconcile his actions with his conscience. Refuge in solitude. Finding little comfort in social interactions, Andrew spends his time in solitude. He finds some kind of peace in solitary activities such as long walks or reading. In these moments of solitude, he reflects on his experiences, trying to find meaning in what he has experienced. Professional help. Finally, encouraged by a close friend or family member, Andrew seeks professional help. Sessions with a therapist begin to give him a space where he can talk openly about his experiences and feelings. Therapy becomes an important step in his healing process, giving him tools to understand and manage the trauma. Chapter 6: Echoes of Silence. Reintegration into civilian life. Andrew tries to reintegrate into civilian life, but finds that the process is much more difficult than he anticipated. Getting back to normalcy seems like an almost impossible task. Things that seemed familiar are now foreign to him, and the daily routine causes him anxiety and discomfort. Struggling with alienation, Andrew feels disconnected from the people around him, including family and friends. Conversations and everyday social interactions are difficult for him. It is no longer to be found in the mundane subjects or in the daily concerns of others. This alienation intensifies his feeling of loneliness. Refuge in solitude. Seeking peace, Andrew finds refuge in solitude, spending a lot of time in nature or engaging in solitary hobbies. These moments of solitude allow him to reconnect with himself and process his thoughts and emotions. Confronting the past. Even in solitude, the echoes of war haunt him. Memories and flashbacks from the fights are a constant presence, and Andrew struggles to understand and accept them as part of his past. This internal struggle is presented in detail, highlighting the complexity of his trauma. Searching for meaning, Andrew begins to question his role in society and the meaning of his experiences. He wonders how he can contribute to the world in a positive way, given all he's been through. This search for meaning leads him to deeper reflections on war, peace, and humanity. Meeting other veterans. Looking for connection and understanding, Andrew attends meetings with other veterans. These meetings give him a sense of camaraderie and allow him to share experiences with people who have been through similar situations. This aspect of the story emphasizes the importance of mutual support and empathy in the healing process. Hope for the future. Andrew starting to find a glimmer of hope. Although he still faces challenges, he begins to see the possibility of a life after the war, where he can find a new purpose and a new identity. Echoes of Silence features Andrew taking small but significant steps towards coming to terms with his past and building a more peaceful future. Chapter 7: Shadows of Peace. Coping with post-conflict reality. Andrew trying to adjust to the realities of post-conflict life. Despite his inner struggle and the demons he carries, he begins to accept that his wartime experiences are part of who he is. Andrew struggles to find a balance between painful memories and everyday life, but begins to realize the importance of accepting and understanding his past. The quest for inner peace. Andrew embarks on a personal quest for inner peace and reconciliation. He explores various methods of healing, from meditation and yoga to art and writing. These activities give him a haven of peace and help him process his emotions and trauma. These moments of introspection are vital to his evolution, helping him redefine himself in the context of his new reality. Repaired relationships. Andrew also begins to repair damaged relationships with family and friends. Honest conversations with loved ones help him open up and share his experiences, an important step in his healing process. These interactions help him rebuild his emotional bonds and find a sense of belonging. Community contribution. Andrew is becoming more active in his community. They get involved in projects that support peace and reconciliation, such as speaking at public events about the impact of war or working with nonprofit organizations that help veterans. These actions give him a sense of purpose and help build inner peace. Acceptance and hope. Although the shadows of war still haunt him, he begins to see the light of hope. Andrew realizes that although he cannot change the past, he has the power to influence his future and that of those around him. Shadows of Peace leaves the listener with a sense of hope that even after the darkest experiences, there is the possibility of healing and peace. Chapter 8: Dawn of Redemption. Dedication of life to help others. After a long period of reflection and inner healing, Andrew dedicates his life to helping other veterans and promoting peace. This commitment represents the aurora of redemption for him, a new beginning that gives deep meaning and a clear direction to his life after the war. Creating a support program for veterans. Andrew is starting a support program for veterans, using the experiences and lessons learned from his own struggles. The program offers counseling, therapy, and group activities, creating a safe space where veterans can share experiences, support each other, and find ways to manage their trauma. Andrew works personally with many of the veterans, providing them with support and guidance. Peace activism. In addition to his work with veterans, Andrew is becoming a vocal peace activist. He attends conferences, public events, and awareness campaigns, speaking about his experiences and the need to prevent conflict. His messages focus on the human cost of war and the importance of dialogue and understanding between nations. Partnerships with humanitarian organizations. Andrew collaborates with various humanitarian organizations and NGOs working to help victims of war and promote global peace. He brings a unique perspective to these groups, based on his first-hand experience on the battlefield, which enriches their efforts. Inspiring and mentoring young people. An important aspect is Andrew's involvement in mentoring young people. He visits schools and universities, sharing his story and emphasizing the importance of peaceful conflict resolution. Through these interactions, he becomes a role model for future generations, showing them the value of courage, empathy, and understanding. Personal reflections and growth. Andrew reflects on his own transformation. He admits that while the wounds of the past won't completely go away, he has found a way to turn them into something positive for himself and others. This process of personal growth gives him a peace and fulfillment he hasn't felt in a long time. He is now a changed man with a clear purpose and vision to bring positive change to the world, with a sense of hope and admiration for the human ability to heal and influence the world in a positive way.